going to be doing another story time video because I know you guys seem to like these videos a lot. Today's story time video is gonna be about when I was quite a bit younger. I'm gonna tell you about 5 pets that I had when I was younger. One of them is a happy story, the other 4 are not. I had really bad luck with my pets when I was younger, even though I love animals more than most people, but for some reason, mine would always die. The first pet that I had was a hamster. And this story's not too long at all because I never really got to have the hamster, and I will tell you why. So we went to the store and I was so excited. I had been waiting so long to get a pet. I picked one out and as soon as I got home I wanted to play with it, obviously, because I was like 5 and it was my first pet. I went upstairs into my bathroom and I thought that it would be a safe place to just let him run around on the floor because he couldn't get lost and the doors all closed properly and it wasn't a massive room, so there was really nowhere for him to go. My counter, it kind of sticks out from the wall, and at the bottom of the counter, which I didn't know, there's like these little holes underneath, kind of, that I guess go up into the wall. So I'm playing with him and 10 minutes later, he decides to climb up one of those holes, and that was the last time I saw him. So there went my first hamster. The second story I'm going to tell you is about my rabbit Oreo, which I briefly mentioned in the Q&A I did with Andre, but I thought that I might as well just tell the story on here. This was the first rabbit I ever had as a pet, and I loved him so much. He was so cute. I feel like he thought he was a dog because he would come up to you and just like lick your hand, and it was the cutest thing. And I even had a leash for him. I would take him for walks. He was just like so cuddly, so well behaved, the sweetest bunny in the world. I had him for a couple years. One day it was super hot and we used to keep his cage in the laundry room, but it was just so hot in there and it was such a beautiful day outside that I thought, why not just put his cage outside for one night? And it was like really thin wires and stuff, so like there's no way he could get out, so I wasn't too worried at all. But I thought that he would like it better outside because he liked being outside a lot better than inside. I decided to put him outside for that one night to see how he liked it. We put the cage down the side of my house. There's kind of like a little, I might do a house tour video also, side note. I know a lot of you guys have been asking. Some people said to do a house tour for 30,000 subscribers. I say I will do a house tour for 40,000 subscribers. So once we get there, if we get there, I will do a house tour video. Subscribe! But anyways, we put the cage down the side of the house. I went to bed and the next morning I woke up and I kind of had this bad feeling. As soon as I woke up, I went to go check on him. I wanted to see how he did outside for his first time. I go outside. He's not in the cage. Now, it's really dark. I mean, this is not like a fun story at all. It was horrible, and I was young when this happened, so I was like traumatized. A raccoon decided that he wanted to play with my rabbit in the middle of the night. To this day, I have no idea what happened to him, but his arms were still in the cage. There was like rabbit pieces in the cage and some blood, and that was it. So yeah, I'm assuming it was a raccoon because I feel like raccoons are the only animals small enough that they could have reached their arms into the cage to get him. I don't know for sure because I didn't see it, but yeah, that's what happened to my bunny. The third story I'm going to tell is about my pet fish. I had this Siamese fighting fish for, it was close to 10 years. They live for such a long time. One day it was really cold and the water in their little bowl thing is supposed to stay relatively warm. They don't need heaters or anything, but the water is usually room temperature, and usually room temperature was warmer than it was that day. So the water in his bowl had gone quite cold and he died. Or so I thought. So there's two happy stories. This is one of the happy stories. I thought he was dead, 100%. I mean, he was floating in his bowl. I felt the bowl and I knew it was cold. So I thought, well, why not try and pour hot water into the bowl? I don't even know what I was thinking, but I took like hot water, not just warm water. We used to have this boiling water tap in our kitchen, and I just took some of that water and just dumped it in his bowl. And he started like twitching, and where his scale is on his neck, like blood just started coming out, and he came back to life. I am not even kidding. I was 100% certain that fish was dead, and he lived for like a good 5 years after that. So I don't know what happened, but if your Siamese fighting fish ever dies, try putting hot water in before you flush it down the toilet, because he might just be really cold. The fourth story I have is about a pet lovebird that I had. His name was Kiwi, and I used to take him everywhere. He was so cute, and I would just like carry him on my shoulder and take him around. Like we'd go to Costco and he'd just sit on my shoulder, and he wouldn't even poo on me. Like I think he pooed on me a couple times, but he was really good about it. I would just feed him bananas. He loved, okay, yeah, but he was a really cute bird. I had him for, it was about 6 months. I had this nice bird cage for him, and inside the bird cage was this little bird bed. It was like a triangle bird bed that had like fluffy fur on the inside, so it was nice and cozy, and he would just sleep in there. One day I went to school, and when I got home, I knew something was wrong, because usually when I got home he would like start chirping and I could hear him. I'd go, Kiwi, and he'd like start chirping. But I walked in to the room that he was in and I went, Kiwi, and there was nothing. I look into his cage, and this bird is hanging upside down by a string. The bird literally hung itself. I was so traumatized, like so traumatized. I guess what had happened was that bed thing, he must have like picked at it and got this loose string. The string had somehow wrapped around his feet. He was hanging upside down by that string when I got home. I was so sad. I loved that bird so much. So if you have a pet bird, make sure that there are no loose strings in their cage, because your bird might hang itself. Okay, the last story I'm going to tell you, it has a happier ending, so I thought I would Yuki's hearing all these stories being like, what? This last story is also about a hamster. I got this hamster after my first hamster climbed up in the wall in my house. So I got this hamster and I named him Fluffy. And I had him for quite a long time. I believe it was like 3-4 years. And one day I went to go play with him and he was dead. I tried to pick him up. I was like holding him, touching him, like trying to like poke him back to life. He wouldn't move at all, didn't even twitch, didn't move, nothing. So I was convinced that he was dead. So me and my mom and my stepdad decided that we would go bury him, because that's what I did to all my animals. I have buried all of them. I buried one of them in my yard. I buried a couple, 1 or 2 in my grandparents' yard. I've buried some on the golf course, and I'll put them in like a little shoebox, and it's kind of just what I did. I decided that I wanted to bury him at this bird sanctuary, which I actually did a vlog at. But it's close to my house, and I love that place, so I wanted to bury him there. He was inside his house. He had a little house in his hamster cage, so we put him back in the house, and we put him in a plastic bag, and we went in the car to go to this bird sanctuary to go bury him. We're walking around trying to find a spot. Eventually we find a spot. My stepdad brought a shovel and he started digging a hole. He eventually dug the hole, and we took the bag that the hamster was in, and we just kind of placed the bag in the hole. Still totally dead, still 100% dead. My stepdad takes a shovel to go put dirt on the hole again. We're gonna start burying him. And we see like the bag move a little bit, like it just starts kind of twitching. And I like screamed, I freaked out. I was like, what's going on? And then it starts moving more, like the bag is full on moving. We look in the bag, he is alive. To this day, I don't even know how that is possible, because I'm not kidding. When I found him in the cage, he was 100% dead. Once we put him in the hole, we're about to bury him, he came back to life. He lived after that for like a while and he was totally fine. Nothing, had no problems, nothing. So yeah, that was a happy story. I was really pleasantly surprised because I 100% thought he was dead and he wasn't. But I hope you guys enjoyed these stories. Let me know if you guys have any childhood pet kind of stories like this. I would love to hear them. If you guys would like to see more Storytime videos, give this video a thumbs up. I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!